believe it either. Are you all right?
God, you nearly gave me a heart attack. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
People thought I were mad when I said I saw you the other night. But I knew. Only you could pull a stunt like that.
It isn't a stunt. I fled the country in fear of my life.
Well, then maybe you should have stayed away.
What, away from my much-loved family and friends?
You shouldn't have come back. Frank might not be around anymore, but there's still plenty of people in this village that hate you just as much, if not more.
Get off me.
People like me. People whose friends' lives you've ruined. Like Nick Bates, Kathy, Dave. The miracle is that Frank's the only one they could put in the frame for rubbing you out. I mean, how can they narrow it down to just one person?
Have you finished?
You shouldn't have come back.
I live here.
You really
Can't
should.
touch me.
Well, who's going to come running to help you, eh? They're probably going to come to watch. Give me a round of applause.
There's nothing you can do to hurt me. You must see that. You of all people. You've seen how I operate. What do you think you could possibly do to harm me? Frank with his millions couldn't. Christopher with all his venom couldn't. What have you got? Oh, yeah. You could rough me up. But that's not your style. You could call me names. But they've been used up. Cow. They stopped meaning anything a long time ago.
Why did you come back?
This is my home.
All those people you hurt, the one consolation was they put some of it to rest when they buried you. Now they can't even have that.
You better put it to rest.
Oh, yeah?
If you want to carry on working here. I hope that's not a personal call. I've been thinking we should have a tin for employees who make private calls. It'll stop them taking advantage.
Suit yourself.
I always do.
Oh, I've got to take the rest of the afternoon off.
Well, I don't think that's convenient.
I've got a hospital appointment. Do you want a doctor's note?
Might not be a bad idea in future.
So is that okay, then?
Well, what's it for?
That's my business.
Just this once. Nothing serious, I hope.
Let me just get rid of that. Oh. Oh! Who's that? Who's that?
I was so relieved when I found you'd stayed with James. I know I should have confided in you. I could always talk to you, trust you.
Yeah, you thought I was stupid and gullible.
If I thought that, you wouldn't have had sole charge of my child. You know more than anyone how important he is to me.
I thought I did.
You know.
It really could have been you in that quarry, couldn't it?
So it seems.
And you had no alternative but to go.
I didn't see any at the time.
Yeah, you were right.
You know Frank could have done it, don't you?
I really thought he had. I'm so pleased you're back.
For James?
Yeah, for James, but also for you.
You're the first person that said that.
Nobody wanted you dead.
Didn't they?
No.
I feel terrible that I thought Frank could have... I even told the police.
Still, he didn't. That's something James won't have to live with.
Tragically, it's not quite so simple.
You don't think he murdered the woman in the quarry?
Well, I thought it was me.
Why, he felt so passionately about you.
He loved me.
No, it was more than love.
I know.
For you as well.
I didn't think anyone else would understand.
I do.
Sophie, I thought we might... I know I shouldn't be here.
Flowers?
Think it's sentimental?
No,
I know she's gone and you can't take them with you.
not to the mortuary.
I just had to mark her passing. I can't stop thinking about her. Did she have children? A husband? Someone somewhere still praying that she'd walk back through the door?
There's every chance we'll find that out.
And what if you don't?
We'll bury her again in 6 months' time as unknown female 30697.
So these might be the only flowers she'll get.
This way.
James, please. I don't know what it is.
Come on. There. Oh, there we are. He has been like this all week. I think he's teething.
It's me.
No, you just need to spend a bit more time together, that's all. Get to know each other again. Here. Oh. You see, he's fine now.
Why don't you take the rest of the day off? Don't you think he'll settle?
No, it's not that. It's just I wasn't angling for time off.
Don't be ridiculous, Sophie. And don't pretend you don't deserve it. You're right. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
Well, if you're sure. Brilliant. Oh, and he needs changing.
On second thoughts...
Too late, I've gone.
What's this?
Is this a trick question?
Don't be smart.
It's a filing tray.
We've got cabinets for filing.
Yeah, well, I ain't had time to catch up to it yet.
Then make time. I want that lot cleared by tomorrow.
I've got to clean the pool this afternoon. Some of the guests have been complaining.
Then do it later.
It's not even my job. I'm just doing it as a favour. I'm employed to look after the grounds and the holiday village. I'm not a filing clerk.
You're employed to do what you're told. Here, and don't take all day over it. I'll make an efficient office boy out of you if it kills me. Hi, Roy. Good to see you.
Hi. How's that song go again? Happy days are here again. I want to ask you again.
Oh, good.
I want to know when I'm going to get my money.
Tomorrow? Well, you might touch lucky in Frank's will.
The money I paid for the stables.
Give it a rest. You're like a dog with a bone.
And tell me.
I can't help you. Leave me alone.
When you were dead, it was impossible, but now you're back. Well, there are ways and means, Kim.
Ways and means of what?
Of getting my hands on your money, plus interest, and you won't be able to do a thing.
That sounds remarkably like a threat, Mr. Tate.
How come she is back for 5 minutes and you are already on her side?
We don't take sides.
Then clear my father's name. We want a posthumous apology.
We still have a dead body on our hands. The fact it's not Mrs. Tate is irrelevant. The case stays open. I believe you wanted to speak to me.
I did. It's about the body. What you said this morning about the burial?
What about it?
I'd like to pay. If she's not identified in 6 months. I don't want her to have a pauper's funeral.
That's very generous of you.
Of course it is. It's not her damn money. She can afford to be generous. Oh, God, let me out of here before you have another murder on your hands.
Look after him. I'm not sure when I'll be back.
Oh, but you'll be back for the reading of the will, won't you? Whatever anyone says, you're Frank's widow.
Can't wait to see her face when she finds out she's found.
That's enough.
Just get on reading the will. It's got nothing to do with Kim.
It's not strictly true, Mr. Tate.
OK, she's James's legal guardian, but I'm sure we can rely on Sophie to report back to her.
Sorry if I've kept everyone waiting. Thank you.
Well, terms of the will are very simple. Christopher and Zoe will each inherit £500,000. And James will inherit 10% of company shares when he achieves the age of majority.
If Kim's your guardian, you need to get them under lock and key.
The rest of the estate, money, land, property, and any rents due thereon, are bequeathed to Mrs. Kim Tate.
There is no way Dad would have left it all to that cow. He thought she was dead.
Nevertheless, she's very much alive.
I suppose this is all down to you.
I'm as puzzled as you are.
Why would you be the main beneficiary?
I was his wife.
This will is the last will your father made, Mr. Tate. It dates back 2 years, with a codicil which provides for any subsequent heir. Perhaps your father was intending to make another will, but in the absence of fresh instruction, this document stands.
That's ridiculous. He was always making new wills. He held it over me, whether I was in it or out of it.
It was his little game, Chris. He enjoyed watching you squirm.
I don't believe this. I intend to challenge every syllable of that will in court.
That would be a long and costly process, Mr. Tate. And I shall advise you it wouldn't change anything. Good day to you all.
Thank you.
I don't know how you did it, but somehow you've stitched us all up.
That's not true.
One day I'll prove it and you'll be sorry. That's a promise.
I suppose you think I've swindled you too?
That's between you and your conscience, Kim. If you've got one.
Look, Zoe, I've done plenty of things wrong in my life. I don't deny it. But you've got to believe I didn't plan any of this. I don't think people ever understood the way things were between me and your father. It just seemed like we couldn't live together, we couldn't live apart. Yeah, I hated him. But I loved him too. There'll certainly never be anyone else like him.
Well, at least that's something we can agree on.
I don't expect Christopher to understand that. All he's ever wanted is money and power over little people, which is why Frank would never let him get his hands on Home Farm.
But you're telling me he trusted you with it?
We built it up together. So it seems right somehow. And I'll fight to keep it the way he would have wanted. But I'm going to need your help. I'm calling a board meeting for next week. I'd like to think I could count on your support to keep Frank's dream alive.
Still gloating over all that's yours?
It's just taking Peggy for a walk. Thought it might work up her appetite. She's been off her food lately.
This is the new Kim, is it? Kind to animals and small children. Well, you don't fool anybody, you know.
I don't need to. I don't care what you all think of me.
That isn't true, is it, Kim? You see, you might get away with fixing the will, but you still don't control the company. You need allies.
Gonna make me an offer, are you, Chris?
I'd rather die than join forces with you.
That's just how your father felt. Come on, Peggy. Cookies.
Oh, morning.
Morning.
I'm sorry I was late. You're probably wondering where I got to last night.
What you do on your night off's your business, Sophie. Just hope it was worth it. You look wrecked this morning. Just make sure you're on time in future.
Yes, Kim.
Know anything about dogs?
Not really.
I can't get Peggy to eat. Guess I should take her to the vet. So we can rely on Zoe's healing hands.
About next week's board meeting.
I'll be sending out an agenda as soon as possible.
I think Dad's will should be the first item.
It's already been dealt with.
The old version, yes. There somehow must be a more recent one that's got mislaid.
Well, if there was, his solicitor would have known about it.
Would he?
Next week's board meeting's about how this company moves forward. We can't waste time on your paranoid fantasies. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get Peggy to the vet's.
I haven't finished with you yet.
It'll have to wait. Peggy was Frank's most loyal companion. She deserves looking after. Come on, Peggy. Come on.
Well, nothing physically wrong with her. My guess is she's pining for Dad.
I suppose any time will heal that.
I've got a tonic you can have. I miss him too, Peg.
Life goes on, though, Zoe. You should get out more. Try and enjoy yourself.
I suppose you're right.
Maybe you should take a leaf out of Sophie's book.
What?
My nanny? She was out all night. Can't imagine what she was getting up to.
Mornings and evenings, after meals.
All right, thanks. Still, it's a small village. No doubt I'll be hearing all about it soon. Put these on the slate. Come on, Peggy.
I'm sorry I haven't called earlier, but I felt that you needed time to come to terms with your grief.
What makes you think she's grieving? She's laughing. Everything's turned out exactly like she planned it.
That is an appalling thing to say, Chris.
He's just upset because Frank chose to leave the estate in my hands.
No one believes that.
See what I've got to put up with, Alan? I know he's overwrought, but if he wasn't Frank's son, I might have to take action to stop him from spreading vicious rumours.
It is the most natural thing in the world for a husband to want to provide for his wife, Chris.
Don't you understand? He would have liked her dead, and I only wish she was.
I seem to have come at a bad time. I only wanted to say that Frank and I didn't always agree, but we were always friends.
He had a lot of respect for you.
Listen, and I for him. I'm sure you've been left well provided for, but it can't be easy being a widow at your age.
Well, it's good to know some people appreciate that.
But if you want any help, you only have to ask.
Thank you.
All right, Mum, what are you doing?
Come to see Kim.
What about?
It's between her and me. It's private.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't go upsetting her. I've got a good thing going here. And besides, she's been good to me since Frank's gone.
Hello, Jan.
Hello, love.
Nice of you to call.
I was hoping you might have time to see me on a personal matter.
Yes, of course. We'll go inside. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss the opportunity of playing with your grandchild.
No.
We'll take him with us, Sophie, and have a half-hour break.
Okay. Thanks, Mrs. Kate.
We've grown.
I know. When was the last time you saw?
Growing into a lovely little chap. I don't know why you're still calling him my grandson, though. I thought Frank's blood test would put a stop to that.
We both know that Frank had enough money to buy the result he wanted. As far as I'm concerned, James will always be David's child. And you'll always be welcome here to visit him.
Thank you. I'd always hoped that were the truth.
But that's not what you came about.
It's a rather delicate matter. I don't know how much you know about this, but before he died, Frank told us we could live at the farm rent-free for a year.
Oh, it's the first I've heard of it.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that the arrangement would carry on now that you're in charge.
Well, it depends why it was put in place. I mean, it's unusual for Frank to give something for nothing.
It was to keep us quiet.
About what?
Chris bothering our Linda.
You mean he was sexually harassing her?
He made her life a misery. Ned was ready to kill him.
And Frank was happy to hush him up.
Well, you probably think the worst of us for taking the money, but if Ned and Biff had gone after him, well, they'd have been in trouble. And if it got to court, well, Linda would have been even more upset. So
You've got nothing to blame yourself for, Jan. I'm just glad you brought it to my attention. If you're searching for another will, you're out of luck.
Because you've destroyed it?
Because it never existed.
I'm not going to sit back here and let you take everything that should be mine.
Face it, Chris. You haven't got the guts or the brains to do anything else apart from loaf around here sponging.
Don't underestimate me, Kim.
Impossible. You're nothing without Frank. He was always bailing you out one way or another. Like with Linda.
What are you talking about?
You molested her, and Frank bought her silence. Well, there's no one left to get you out of trouble next time, Chris. And if you get in my way, I'm going to crush you like...
Like what? Like my father? That's what you were going to say, wasn't it? I knew you planned all this. When I've proved it, you're the one that's finished, Kim.
It would have taken a lot of planning, wouldn't it? Getting Frank arrested for a murder he didn't commit. I suppose you think I expected him to die in jail with his heart condition?
Is that what you engineered?
You tell me. You're playing detective. Do you think that's why I came back? To finish him off? And steal your inheritance? Mustn't forget that, must we? Because that's where I think you should start to worry. Because if I was that ruthless, you'd be easy to deal with. Just another accident, Chris. You'd never know what hit you. Why should he change the habits of a lifetime? James is in his playpen. He needs his bottle now, Sophie.
Yeah, I was just going.
You're right.
Yes, I'm fine.
More coffee?
I'd choke on it.
We live in hope.
You killed my father.
Frank died from a heart attack. Everyone knows that.
You could have been there, watched him, and done nothing to help. Sort of a woman, are you?
Powerful. But that's our little secret.
Oh, I'm going to tell the police everything. I'm going to finish you.
Christopher, you've made more visits to the police station in the last 6 months than I've made to the hairdressers. Who's going to believe a word you say?
I shall make them believe me.
And I'll tell the whole village that you molested Linda Fowler.
You'll only make things worse for her.
She'll get over it. Unlike you. You'll never be able to show your face around here again. Never is.
Hi, Kim.
Eric?
I must say, for somebody that's been dead a couple of months, she looks well on it.
I hope you've not come here to cause trouble, Kim.
I'm so sorry about Nick. It's terrible to think of a confused, unfortunate boy languishing in jail when so many real criminals are still walking the streets.
I'm sure he'll be touched by your concern.
Are you going to introduce us, Eric?
What? Oh, yes, of course. This is my beautiful wife, Dee. Dee, meet...
Hello, Dee. My name's Kim Tate. I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, it's a special dinner party for important investors. But if you can pull it off as well as you've improved the menu here, well, I think you've got a great future. So what do you say?
As long as I can prepare my own recipes as agreed.
Well, I'd hardly be hiring you to make Yorkshire puddings.
I think you should know, Kim, that Dee is very much in demand. She wouldn't do cheese on toast for less than 100.
Mrs. Tate and I have already agreed a price, Eric.
And it's considerably more than £100.
Oh.
Your wife's obviously a lot tougher than you think. Well, next Thursday, then.
I look forward to it.
Ooh, tut, 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 tut. Careful, Betty. Moment on the lips is... Actually, at your age, I don't suppose it matters.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Chris kept me talking. I couldn't get away.
I'm not interested. As farm manager, I expect you to set an example. You're not just one of the lads anymore. And from now on, I want you in a suit.
Oh, there's enough of it.
Don't push it, Roy.
Kim, I need to talk to you.
Get on with your work. Come on in. I'll get us some lunch.
I haven't come for lunch. I've come for some answers. Chris has told me something that's disturbed me a lot.
Oh, not his life story again.
Were you here the night Dad died? Were you with him, Kim?
No, of course I wasn't. Do you know what you're saying? Oh, I get it. You've joined forces with Chris, and now you're out to blacken my name.
No, Chris was sure.
The only thing he's sure about is that I inherited the lion's share of this estate, and he can't stand it.
I'm not going to take part in your little games.
But you come here with some sordid fantasy about Frank's death. Look, I know things have been difficult between us, Zoe. How could you accuse me of that?
The hell do you think you're doing?
Oh, I know what I'm doing. Do you? Running to little sister, telling tales?
Rattled your cage, did it?
Not at all. In fact, we ended up, yet again, agreeing that you're a grasping little loser. But if you say one more word...
You're what?
Oh, it's poor Joseph I feel sorry for. Imagine living with the stigma of a father who mauls and molests young women. I'm sure that's how Rachel would see it, if she knew. Bye-bye cosy little access visits with your son. Zoe, so good of you to join us.
Let's get started.
Oh, the meeting isn't here.
What?
I'm taking you all on a little tour.
Of what?
None of you has a clue what's going on, do you? Well, I think it's time I put you in the picture. Come along. Do try and keep up. We haven't got all day. Right, here we are. What do you see?
Oh, hang on. I mean, it's coming to me, yeah. Is it a golf course by any chance?
I have got a practice to run, Kim. Is this going to take very long?
Do you see anything else?
No.
Exactly. Acres of prime land. A few sandpits, and not a soul for miles. Hardly the most efficient use of the site, wouldn't you say?
Get to the point, Kim.
The point is we've got over 1,000 acres. And they're not making as much money for us as they should.
Is this what you dragged us out for? We know perfectly well what we own.
Didn't you think you owned Kim Stables at one point, Chris?
Whose side are you on?
Oh, well, I vote with the money every time.
No doubt you have a better use for the land in mind.
I think so. But whether you and my half-wit stepson agree is another matter. Come on, Chris, you're holding us up.
She is doing this on purpose.
We've just got to humour her.
Go on, there's nobody coming. Let's get this lot inside.
What are you doing?
Oh, Mrs. Tate, welcome to the Dingle homestead.
I said, what are you doing?
We're, Marlon.
We were just having a row, my dad and me, right? And we were rowing over the boot capacity of your Granada here. And we were experimenting.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, do you want a cup of tea, then? I can knock you the sarnie up, if you like. Lemon curd.
What I want is for this place to be cleaned up. Get rid of the cars, scrap, everything. I want it looking fit for human habitation.
Well, I'll tell Zach, then. I'm sure he'll get round to it.
You'll have it finished by tomorrow, or you're all out. Do you understand?
Well, that was a complete waste of time.
Did seem fairly pointless, Kim. We're not exactly unfamiliar with our land.
I thought you might like to say goodbye to it.
To what?
It's the end of an era. Frank's dead, and now it's my name on the letterhead.
But you still need our vote to push anything through.
Dad spent half his life building the company. I won't have you try and destroy it the moment he's gone.
So, what's the Kim Tate vision of a brighter future?
For years, Tate Holdings has been falling apart. Neglected while we squabble amongst ourselves for control.
No change there, then?
Yeah, well, unless we act fast, there'll be nothing worth saving.
What do you suggest we do?
Sell.
Sell what, exactly?
To start with, the holiday village.
And now you're going to tell us you've already got a buyer.
Who is it?
This is the bit I'm not sure you'll like.
Who?
An American company. They want to turn the holiday village into an open prison.
It was Dad's dream to build the village.
He's not here.
If you try and sell it off behind our backs...
Me?
You haven't got a chance in hell of pushing this through.
I suppose that depends on how I vote, doesn't it?